you know, what I say often and what we discuss is, if you've got pain in parts of the body, it's almost certainly coming from somewhere else. If you got pain in your shoulders, it might be coming from your feet or your back. Pain there in your back could be coming from your feet. Pain in your hips could be coming from your feet. Pain in your knees could be coming from your feet. Pain in your jaw could be coming from your feet. Okay? And not only could, but it is. That's where it's coming from if your feet are altered. You have to start there. The body's just a kinetic chain, a mechanical machine. Starting from its foundation up, because nothing else up here even matters, really, if it doesn't have some kind of support from below it. Even if you don't have feet, just meaning anything you have below anything else in your body has to come first, because gravity, you know, we get pulled from the bottom up or the top down, whatever way you want to look at it. The human body only works activated as a whole. I mean, the core can never be deactive. I mean, I can just speak just fine while like hitting my abdomen hard. That's a firm hit. And it's not like I'm struggling to speak, because stemming at the feet, the core can never deactivate. But it's physically impossible to train the human body. Mechanically, truly, there's just only one neutral position to the pelvis on Earth's gravity. But listen, I mean, I can turn my head while I speak and just slam my abdomen, and most people would have a really hard time doing that. If your core is deactivated, like your feet sticking external in only one of their rotations, right, from internal to neutral and then external to neutral, if you're out of your neutral and external rotation with your feet pointing out rather than straight forward from that pinky toe, just because the length of toes is different, that's just how the feet work, sharing the weight on all the toes. There's 5 toes on each foot. You can have a different body, sure. Amputations, deformities, major surgeries, birth defects, whatever it is that has altered your body quite a bit or maybe slightly, either way, there's this universal human design that we have to get as close as we can to, right? Because there's only one way the human body could ever work. It's all there. And so compensation will happen, sure, if you're like missing part of your body, but we have to do all that we can to limit all the compensation of other parts of our bodies that we can have happen, right? And the toes are different lengths, you know, and so we share the weight evenly off the toes when we walk. And because they're different lengths, they just roll inward, and the pinky toe is the one that's just the last to leave the ground, essentially. I mean, they all leave the ground evenly if they're evenly sharing the weight, but it's just the shortest one. That's just the neutral forward from rotations, internal and external, right? You just dangle your foot. Again, keep in mind how my right foot is, and I'm still balancing. It's not about me, it's truly not, but just mechanically is what I mean, okay? Neutral, straight from the pinky toe forward, internal, external, rotation. Keep in mind, I'm on an angle. I'm not even standing straight on my right leg. I'm just showing for the positioning. The body is very, very active through all of it, always. It has to. That's the only way it could work. That's what I mean when I say we can't drag around dead weight, is if your core's not active, you can't activate your feet because your pelvis is not vertical. If your core deactivates, anteriorly rotating or falling forward, pant waistlines falling lower in the front, clothing truly is the only fix to human beings' physical problems, no claim. But this is why chiropractors don't work. Physical therapy doesn't work. Stretching doesn't work. And all of a sudden I'm preaching up on the side of the cliff. I get it. I'm over the top a lot of the time. I love it. I love it. These things don't work because there's only one way the human body does. And if we're not allowing it to, you can't try to get it to. You just can't restrict it. And it starts at the feet. And it starts at the feet before we could ever decide to make shoes. It starts at the feet with Adam, the first man who never had the opportunity at that time to have shoes, right? He didn't even know he was naked until he sinned. Partook of the fruit of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and all of a sudden he, made some clothing because he felt bad about being naked. Meaning Adam didn't wear shoes. A lot of people just don't wear shoes. And a lot of times people who don't wear shoes have bodies that work a lot better if they're just like regular people living their life, but they're just kind of like barefooted a lot of the time. than people who go to the gym just about every day and work and work and work and work on their body to try to get it to do something within shoes with heels on them or laces damaging their feet, right? The laces are the top of the feet. The foot's neutral's on the ground, neutral from pointing the foot or lifting the foot. Look at my fanny pack line here. Horizontal. Look at my hand being my foot, neutral on the earth, that's horizontal. Zero drop, the term for shoes, flat on the ground. Half of the functions, the sole of the shoes, pointing the feet, but the other half of the functions lifting the toes. And that's the lacing on top of the feet. In the Image Clothing Company shoelace technique, no opinion. It's just the only way the top of the human foot is shaped. You'll never do it otherwise. Have a working body because there's only one way the human body could ever work? Truly? Truly. No opinion. Let's throw all opinions out the window, everything in life. There's only truth. Nobody could decide it because we didn't design it. The human body only works barefooted. Yikes, okay? The feet only work barefooted. There you go. Today's the 21st of November, 2025. My name is Evan Strong, the founder. I'm in this for life, okay? Of In the Image Clothing Company. We've got 4 sides to us. Check out the other 3 if you'd like to. Stick around for the poodles. Come to Utah, St. George, the southern end of Utah. It's beautiful. Red rocks, desert. It's like this. Minus the construction noise, unless it's there. I'm not worked up about it in this video. I get it. I mean, I chose this location. Well, I prayed through where to go, but nature, man. It's the only thing that's always there. It's not an approach. It's the only thing. Everything else man-made decomposes. All the shoes decompose. Your shoes wear out and you throw them away. Your feet wear out and you're in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. You see what I mean? This is as real as it gets. The feet only work barefooted. And so I guess that's something to just really hit home again here at the end of this, or close to the end, however long this ends up being, right? Sometimes our videos are very long because these are eternal videos, meaning that they last for literally ever. Let's say I'm 80 years old and we're out there still like doing poodle parade events and I'm just walking with my poodles and all the people with us, like right? I'm just saying probably. That's probably going to be the case. That'll still be happening. Something like it, right? At least. This video that I filmed today on the 21st of November, 2025 is still just as valid. The feet will still, in, whatever that is, 64 years from now, if I was 80 years old, they would only ever work barefooted still, the feet of the human being. That's just how it is. And so that's what I mean is, these videos, yeah, they're long, and they're just chocked full of a lot of information, man. Free information. This is the truth. There's no approach, no opinion, no nothing. Nothing to do with me either, but this is what we all need, is to know how our own bodies work, because every body has one, right? Same thing as saying everybody has a body. All right? There's only one way it could ever work. So we give a lot of, I said it, but I want to make it clear, a lot of free modifications, because we've got things like In the Image Clothing Company's rotated seam modification. A lot of these things are just decades old. Stretch in clothing didn't even exist decades ago from today's date, and then ever before then. It's a new thing. These materials literally got invented, conjured up, if you will, in a factory. Plastic, polyester. It's oil. You pump it from the earth and you make something you call clothing out of it. But then you get oil on your hands and you try to wash it off as quick as you can. Most people are going through life in modern 2025, probably most, yeah, wearing oil. That's what polyester is literally, actually, is just oil. It comes from the earth and then they just refine it into little strands and weave it into clothing. There's stretch in a lot of these modern man-made materials, and the body only pulls, contracts, the opposite way of stretching. Stretching your body is damaging. Your feet arches grip inward and they pull. You'll never stretch your body and benefit from it. But muscles get tight, stiffen up when they're not able to just work and have their full range of motion that it's impossible to stretch to, because how could you stretch to something when you hit the other end. I hit my hand on my shoulder and I hit my elbow bones together, okay, on this end, and then I straighten my elbow all the way out and I lock my bones together in the elbow. There's no possible way to stretch, but what you have to do is have all the motion in your body by just not restricting either side of a neutral that it's physically impossible to train to. That's what I mean. There's no opinion, and I could just discuss it as thoroughly as I do, and so that's what I do here with these long videos. I'm in this for life, and this is our documentations of well, just what we do, regardless of when I do it, but this is at the, more beginning parts of the rest of Evan Strong's life, at least. Doing this for human beings across the entire earth, it's always the exact same fix. Allowing. There's no restriction. Unaltering the body, and then we can get out of chronic patterning and scar tissue that has gotten built up over years, decades, centuries. Also notice, I'm in bare feet. I'm standing on a rock that's on such a slant. And I haven't moved for 10 minutes, maybe more? A lot of people can't even stand in their cushy, soft shoes on a soft carpet or a squishy mat. It's because your muscles need to activate. They need to be solid. Gripping, pulling. The human body only pulls. You step on a squishy thing and you actually kind of push your, bones apart and your muscles get pulled on. I don't do workouts. I do a lot of walking, but I don't do workouts. You can't. And you can get stronger in your only working positions, but you can't actually work out and benefit from it. Like trying to get your body to do anything. It's impossible. You got Earth's gravity. You've got a neutral to every joint and every rotation, and you've just got muscles only contracting. You've got a center line to the body, the center to the gravity of the earth. I mean, there's just only one way this all can happen. That's why it doesn't work when people, do what they do in modern day. So many products, and that's what I mean. We don't have a sales pitch. I don't even have In The Image Clothing Company clothing available, or any products at all as of today's date that we could brand under In The Image Clothing Company. The 21st of November, 2025. No, I do not. We will. But this isn't a sales pitch. This is just the truth, and then we'll have clothing just to help people allow their body to work. But we also give so much free information. Well, this in itself, but free modifications, right? It's nothing to do with us. We're just here to help. We're here for a community, a company, not a business. See what I mean? No opinion, bro. No opinion. But people are selling stuff. Workout plans, diet plans, stretching, and all the garbage, Products that they've designed to try to improve the human being. You never will. It's impossible. I don't have an opinion on it. Don't believe me. Like I say, just let me seem like I'm just out here screaming and shouting to no one when there's nobody around or whatever, Or even if there's people around and whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. Don't believe me. But I'm speaking the truth. Truth is truth. I didn't get to decide any of this. But you'll never train your body to do anything. And you'll never, come up with shoe designs to help your body work. Zero Shoes, the brand, that's what they say. It's on the back end. They do the same thing as us. That's what I mean. That's why I shout them out so much, just freely, because they're so great at what they do. Live life feet first. A lot of people out there making shoe brands when the feet only work barefooted, really, truly, actually, mechanically, and they'll say, we've got this new technology that will cause your feet to do this. All the spring in your step and, whatever. Your arches will be supported. False, it's just impossible, mechanically impossible. There's no opinion, but you have to know enough to know what's going on, or you can be very, misunderstood. Well, that would be on my end. I could be very misunderstood if you don't know what I'm saying, but you can be very misunderstanding of the only way the human body could ever work. You can be very misled by new products and new designs and opinions of people. And really, the only way out is to know God, the designer of the human being. If we can learn who Jesus Christ is, the one who we're designed in the image of, then we start to understand what life really is, the truth of all things, the gospel of Jesus Christ. You go to the designer of the thing to find out what the thing is. And nobody could ever possibly claim they designed their body without just being delusional. And I know this might sound harsh, but it's the truth. Okay? I'm going to leave it right there. I'm not even going to say anything else. Except for, ow, my right foot does feel a little bit, ow, stiff. I tried to flex my ankle, and I've just been standing in that exact position for like, I don't know, probably at least over 10 minutes. So, thank you.